What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Next Wave podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Blake Zanny Janney, joined by my co-host, Dak D. Woody Woodall. Today, we've got a great episode in store for you. We're going to be talking about a few topics in the esports and gaming scene going on right now, as well as we're obviously going to cover this weekend in the CDL. As well, we're going to do our segment Pick and Ban to round us off. So stay tuned. Appreciate the love on the last podcast, and stay tuned for another banger.
Yeah, fun fact, last podcast, highest viewed one yet.
Yeah, that's why I figured I'd throw in that little extra love coming off our highest viewed podcast. Dak, how was your weekend?
It was good, man. Just same old, same old. I'm basically just waiting to move at this point. I still got to pack a lot up. Obviously, behind me, the place is a wreck always, but, you know, we'll get it all packed up. But other than that, good weekend, good COD, good sports. Loving the NHL and NBA playoffs. I'm really trying to pay attention to those this year. So it's been a blast. And yeah, how about you?
Yeah, same. Decided to have a social weekend. So didn't get to watch the matches as much as I wanted to.
Good for us gamers to step out every now and then.
Yeah. I'm literally sitting here trying to remember what I did on Saturday.
What did you do Saturday?
What did I do on Saturday, bro?
Golf?
No.
Concert?
Dude, where was I on Saturday? What the hell?
Hey, it must have been a good time, brother.
Bro, where
you got amnesia.
Wait a minute. Oh, Kentucky Derby.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Yeah,
Derby party.
Yeah, I forgot that was going on.
Yeah, so missed a little bit of the CDL matches, but for the most part, I was peeking in on score lines and checking Twitter.
You throw any bets on a horse?
Oh, yeah. I threw a lot of bets on a lot of horses. So at the party that I was at, every race, everyone like puts a slip in and puts their card in whatever number that horse they think is going to win, puts in $5. First place takes 50% of the pot. And then, depending on the odds.
That's a fun way to do it.
Yeah, so we did that, and then me and my buddy had a total of $275 on one of the horses to win, to win $3,000, and it did not win.
Damn.
But it was a fun time though, and then went to the Byron Nelson, which is a local PGA tournament that happens here in Dallas.
That's fun.
Yesterday, which was pretty cool. Watched two guys battle it out on 18, both fighting for their first win, and the guy that had a one-shot lead fucking choked hard.
No, dude.
Yeah, he hit it short of the green behind this bunker in some thick rough and just chunked it.
Oh no.
And then had to pitch on again, and then he missed his putt, so he doubled, and the other guy parred, who was one shot back. So he ended up winning by one shot on 18. So that was
was a tough
watch.
That's a moment where golf tests your mental.
Oh yeah.
And where I have so much respect for these guys, because not only did he crumble, but I would be so mad at myself after choking in a hole 18 for a PGA win. Yeah, that's gotta be bad.
It was tough scenes to watch, but that was fun. So yeah, but other than that, watched a little bit of COD.
Yeah,
hung out, watched the Stars win in 7 last night, which was cool. So they're moving on.
Yeah, dude, I'm surprised, honestly. I mean, not to get off on a tangent about the Stars, but when they went down 2-0 to the Vegas Knights, I thought it was just going to be a repeat of last year.
Yeah. So, showed some grit.
Yeah, good for them, dude. That was a fun series.
And as our goalie loves to say, we're not going home.
I love this Stars
Says it in his deep-ass Russian accent. It's hilarious. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into some topics here. So we got a couple quick hitters, I guess, as we like to call it.
Name subject to change.
Yes, name is subject to change, but I honestly like it. Some quick hitters. Hit on our RLCS segment real quick for us. Lead us to the promised land.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna hit on the big highlights. Really, all you guys need to know, if you didn't watch any of the EU RLCS qualifier this last weekend, K Corp, who got all 3 regionals last time, they won all 3 regionals last time, bowed out top 8 to Oxygen, and Oxygen
That's
just
crazy.
picked up Joyo. So Joyo is like
Yeah.
everyone's favorite player from Moist. Insanely mechanical kid. Like, he is nuts. Has some insane highlight plays that you won't see anywhere else. And now he's on Oxygen. Oxygen's always been a team that is highly talked about, and then they usually underperform. So with him on there now, they're looking really good. And
Was
they're
Oxygen like one of those teams that was always like quote like missing a piece or something?
yeah, yeah. And they would always get like someone who's like an up and comer, and people would have high hopes, and then they would do really good in Swiss, and then they would just bow out first round of the real tournament. So it's nice to see them putting this together, especially in an all EU tournament. Like, they had to run a gauntlet to get here. So they beat K Corp for top 4, or they beat K Corp, so K Corp got top 8. Oxygen moved on to semis. That was big. BDS lost to Resolve in round 1 of the playoffs. So Resolve is like a top 8 to 12 type of team in Europe. And they just made a team change and picked up 2 guys, Raziers and I forget who else, but they're looking pretty good now too. So EU across the board is getting better, which is scary. Vitality, though. Obviously, they won a shit ton last year, won the world championship. They had a pretty easy run for them. You know, they didn't have to face Gentlemates or Oxygen or K Corp. So they went all the way to grand finals and won it. Oxygen choked a game 7 to Gentlemates in the semis. So Gentlemates went on to play Vitality in grand finals, and Vitality won 4-1 pretty dominantly. So, I mean, that very well could have been Oxygen there. They were up 3-1 in the series and lost 3 straight maps in a row. So, Oxygen, bro, looking good. It looks like we have a new top 4 team in EU if they can keep this up.
Nice. Hell yeah. Oxygen. I've always been a fan of Oxygen Esports, like the brand themselves. I've always thought their logo was dope and their branding in general.
Yeah, me too. They always have pretty cool decals on Rocket League too.
Yeah. And so, I just went blank. I was about to say version 1. Fucking Zen and them are on point. Is that the overall consensus?
I mean, they definitely had the easiest bracket, not having to play K Corp, Oxygen, or BDS at any point. But yeah, I mean, it's scary to see them 4-1 Gentlemates who just won the last major.
Yeah.
So I mean, Radosin had like 70 points in the game 5. Like, he didn't have to do shit.
Damn.
Yeah. So
even like me out there.
Yeah. So
dropping a fucking.
So, you know,
is.
And Alpha 54 performed really, really well this this regional, and he was kind of not performing well the first split. So, I mean, if he keeps that up, yeah, Vitality's right back to where they were. Because Radosin is Radosin. He's always going to be a menace and do dirty work and shit. So, yeah. EU's heating up.
New top dog.
Moving on, Helldivers 2 is under fire for
this shit's so
stupid
crazy.
reason. So at first it came out Helldivers 2 was making an update where you have to link a PlayStation account to your Steam account to be able to play it. And I was like, what's the big deal? Just make a PlayStation account. But the issue is PlayStation is you can only make a Sony account in 66 countries or something like that. So there's like 170 plus regions, a lot of them heavily filled with gamers that use Steam and play Helldivers that cannot access the game anymore. And
that's crazy.
Obviously, Twitter was a complete firestorm of people just bitching at Helldivers 2. They got 200,000 negative reviews on Steam from this. So it's probably like the worst reviewed game right now on Steam. And yeah, they reverted the change.
Yeah. It's like within like 2 days or something, right?
Yeah. So
yeah, that's hilarious.
So good.
There's so much backlash.
Yeah, good for them.
Power with the people.
Yeah, power with the people for sure.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy. But mods did come out for that game. I saw a TikTok today of people using different skins. One person was Master Chief.
Oh, that's sick.
The other person, oh, come on, who was the other person? Star-Lord.
Nice.
And then the other person like clicked the button and they didn't know. They were like, what am I gonna be? And he goes, come over here, we got a special outfit for you. And he switches and he's Buzz Lightyear with his wings popped out.
Bro, that's sick, bro. We need to
Yeah, so
download
they
those.
have some mods on there, so that'd be cool to check out. But
Hell yeah.
I'm glad they at least like listened. Like I didn't know like do you think that was like a partnership, like an exclusivity deal that they signed? Like do you think they like were making money off of
No,
like
I
making
think
it?
Sony said it was like for security reasons or something. Just like some BS blanket
That's
reason
weird.
of why they wanted to do that. I don't know. But
Interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, speaking of partnerships and things between security reasons,
Yeah.
Moist Critical suing US immigration for having to drop his esports team over Apex issues.
Yeah.
I
So
mean, visa issues.
yeah, so I saw that it came out that he had to do that. But then I saw he tweeted, and let me find it. But he was not very happy at all and said that
No.
he's suing U.S. immigration for making them drop their entire roster, not giving them visas. And he said he's not making any money off this case and is actually spending a lot of money on this case.
Yeah.
So he is hella passionate about this and not happy about it.
Good.
And yeah, props to him for taking initiative and, standing up for what's right. He might have deleted the tweets, man.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he was probably hot, like emotions high, like having a bad day, and
Yeah.
probably just tweeted it.
Yeah, but it's gonna be interesting, and if you want all the details, it's on his channel.
I love his
I
videos
shouldn't have
too.
to shout him out, but yeah, it's on his channel. Penguins.
If you know who that is.
Yeah. So
Moist Critical.
oh, here it is. Here it
Penguins.
is.
What is his fucking
Here
name?
it is. Moist Critical is suing U.S. immigration after he was forced to drop the Apex roster and unable to get them visas. The best case scenario is them overturning their decision of rejecting their visas, but even if Charlie wins, they will get no money from this case, and he notes they are spending tons in the process.
Yeah, this is just principle. Strictly principle.
So I respect it.
Shit.
That's a man of strong value.
Yeah, I respect it too, and
Yeah.
hope he wins. But man, I'm so good at segueing. I'm about to say, speaking of respecting, I don't know if I respect Faze at the moment because, as we know, Banks is white. He wiped it clean. He, as the branding said, he Control Alt deleted and blue screen 2000 Microsoft deleted them.
I respect that
off of the
move.
blue screen. I do respect that move. That move I respect as well. But here we go to the other side. Is he is now building a group, but that is more of the Gen Z content that we're
It's
seeing
just like
lately.
the Aiden Ross type of streams
Yes,
and
it's
reactions and like just in person shenanigans.
Right. And if you're, he said it's all about camaraderie. He I don't know if this was on a podcast or he tweeted this, but he said it's all about camaraderie. I want people making content together, and he's right. There's very few like gaming creators that
like team houses aren't a thing anymore, really.
Right.
Like things like
and
that.
he's not looking for anything competitive, right? So when you think about gaming groups that make that kind of content, you think about like Wildcat and you think about like that kind of group.
Like
they're still
Vanoss
making
and-
COD videos. Yeah, like Wildcat still uploads like COD videos of them trolling in pubs and stuff. And those are the type of YouTubers that don't mesh with a gaming org unless they're the owner of it or something, right? Like you don't see those kind of YouTubers signing deals with Space Station and Optic and stuff like that because that's not, it doesn't mesh with their content.
Right.
So from that perspective, there's not really anyone that they could have rebuilt it with, unless you wanted to do all the OG guys who don't play anymore.
Yeah.
So I guess he could have gone for more streamers, right? Like Nick Merckx is still under there, but like they dropped people like Neo. Like Neo was a questionable one that I was like, why? Like he stands for like the OG of Faze and makes content daily.
Yeah.
Like I would have kept him. If you're keeping Nick Merckx, you're obviously keeping him for his audience, not for his content.
Right.
Like like if you were keeping him for his content, you would have kept Neo because his content is way better. So, I'm kind of indifferent on who they're rebuilding with.
Yeah, I just think, Banks
because
is talking about.
Work.
Yeah, no, it'll work. It'll work.
It's gonna work.
It'll definitely work, and these dudes are, I'm sure, up and coming and have a bunch of viewers already. I just like he's trying to keep the gaming identity with Faze and keep all the esports teams and things like that, but like
this contradicts it, I feel like.
this contradicts that. Like I just feel like be one or the other, bro. Like you're either gonna be this like lifestyle brand and have these content creators doing these like kick streams basically, and you know, the gaming side just is like a side thing. I don't know. It just feels
but you also want to
different.
go back to OG or core Faze.
Yeah, but it still feels like to me this still feels like Faze has felt like the last 3-4 years, however long this has been going on. It's just like people, and maybe I'm just out of touch and getting old, and
maybe
I don't know.
That could be the case.
But I just think,
this is what we grew up on.
But that's not true, because I'm in touch with all the top gaming streamers. Like these dudes just aren't gaming streamers, and they're trying to rebuild around them, and like I don't really watch that type of content, so
me neither.
It just doesn't feel like Faze to me, I guess.
Yeah, that's exactly right, and it's valid. But we'll see.
But I'm glad that they got
gaming videos on some Sidemen shit, like the Among Us videos and shit like that.
Yeah, but I mean, overall, I'm glad that Banks got it back, and I'm sure Faze will be fine regardless.
Yeah, that stock price though, need to get that up. Because it's still 51% corporate owned.
Yeah.
So
with the Complexity guy?
No, it's GameSquare.
Yeah, they own Complexity too, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I guess it's the parent company of Complexity, so not the Complexity guy.
Yeah, it's the public. Yeah. But yeah, that pretty much does it for our few quick hits. Is there anything else that you've thought of that we could add to that, or is that pretty much all we had?
No, I think we're good.
Cool.
Unless something happened today.
Getting into the COD recap, the meat of this meal that is Next Wave Podcast. Starting us off here on Friday, we had the Miami Heretics going up against the Subliners. Do you have it pulled up, Dak?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So this was a 3-0 kick in the ass, other than Miami making it slightly competitive in the map 1. It's a 3-0 for the side of the New York Subliners, and it's a red carpet across the board and a 1.5 for Hydra in this series. I mean, it was just New York's better. Like, I mean,
yeah, no, this will be the series that I have the least to say. I mean, this was the Hydra show. This was just pure stompage, top to bottom, and it's finally good to see New York do that to a team that they should do that to.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
They're still 3-3 on the split, which is crazy.
Yeah, but this kind of weekend makes me think New York's back, and they're coming back. They finally got over the mental hump of whatever was going on with them, and they're starting to play good again.
Yeah, I mean, it was Miami and Vegas, which granted, Optic had breach in
but last week
LAG,
it was Ravens in Seattle. Last week it was Ravens in Seattle. It was just all Ravens in Seattle, and they lost both of those games.
Yeah.
So this was good. We needed this for New York.
Yeah. Next match is Optic Texas versus Boston Breach. This one went down to a map 5. As you know, Boston takes the map 1 and the map 3 control. So Optic came out, saying that they trolled, map 3 and shit like that. But I mean, they really were getting outclassed in the map 1 hardpoint. I don't know what was going on there. They got blessed with a replay. Starting down 100 points the first time. Yeah, so they take it, the map 1 and the map 3 invasion control, and Optic take both S&Ds, and then Boston, a good hardpoint team, man. They cut it to a 10-point game in the hardpoint. Kind of a tough series for Kenny. He was dying a lot. He went 88 and 105, but Shotzi over 100 kills in the series. The rest of Optic over a 1.05. For the side of Boston, Priesta showed up this series with a 1.0. Snoopy having a really good series. But like the thing that we need to talk about is that their coach was their 4th. I completely forgot.
Beans blew his back out.
Beans blew his back, got his back blown out. And Shawnee steps in and held his own.
Yeah,
he was frying map 1. He went 25 and 22 map 1 Karachi hardpoint. I mean, dropped 78 kills, 0.82. I mean, it's not terrible. 18,000 damage. That's more than Pred had.
Yeah,
I mean, he held his own, but he's also fresh off retirement.
Yeah. He's competed recently, so I didn't expect a Marky B type series. but I
No.
didn't expect him to come out and just like fry and
I
like
didn't
any
expect
normal
him to come
CDL
out
player.
and push map 5 round 10.
Yeah,
Like,
no, yeah, that's true. And he was making some pretty heads up plays in the control. Like
yeah,
he
he's always
like
been a
they'd
smart
have
player.
3 on B and like he'd find some openings or go get on A and just be a nuisance. So like it was kind
Yeah,
of
no, he's always been
yeah
smart. He just hasn't been the most cracked. Like he just,
yeah.
you know,
So
skill
honestly,
wise.
bro, if they had beans, it could have been a different series, man.
Yeah.
Optic did not look great.
Do you have any extra info for the map 3? Because I think I only caught the
Um,
like map 1 and map 4 of this game.
I just remember the collapse in the last round when Boston had literally like Shawnee got like 2 ticks on A by himself before anyone even went over there.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I did see this
Yeah.
actually.
It's like
Yeah,
they
they
didn't even
trolled that
realize that
defense.
he was there, bro. Like I don't even think they realized he was on A. No one really worried
Yeah,
about it
so
for a long
for
time.
context, Optic was on defense one round,
It
and they
was
were
it was
clearing
round
out B.
4 to get. Remember Boston needed 4 ticks round 4.
Yeah,
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 and that's when they
it was
trolled the A hill.
2-1. Yeah,
Yeah.
and so it was 2-1 in favor of Boston. Optic win the defense, but they needed to give up less than 4 ticks, and so they're fighting B, making sure that they get as least ticks as possible. And meanwhile, while they fight, Shawnee makes his way onto A and solo caps for 2 ticks
Yeah.
uncontested.
Yeah.
And it was like, what the hell? So that's what he means by like they didn't even know he was on there. So
Yeah.
they definitely trolled that. They came out and said, yeah, we trolled that. But Optic able to seal it, move to 5-1 in the series or in the split. Boston Breach fall to 0-5. They're on the struggle bus.
Yeah, and it was nice of us to get a rep on High Rise, S&D. Pred went pretty crazy. I think he was like 12-5, yeah, or 12-7. So Pred was out there getting some kills. Optic is now 2-5 on High Rise S&D.
Yeah, they gotta get better at it. They
Yeah,
gotta beat Faze.
but this is good. This is a step in the right direction.
It is. It is. Yeah, Boston 0-5, worst team in the league currently. Another team that's up for debate in our next series to cap off Friday is the Vegas Legion. They fall 0-3. Paris Legion is what we call them now.
Paris Legion's back, baby.
They're back to that status. We'll get to it in their next matchup here, but Vegas Legion going up against Atlanta Faze fall 3-0, obviously. And just get smacked up. This was a DoorDash.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they lost by 55 in the Vista, but I mean, come on.
So tell me how.
Another stinker.
Yeah, so ASIM struggling. Hate to see that, but tell me how dropping the worst player in the CDL is going to turn out to be the worst roster move of the season. How does that make sense?
I don't know. It's a dynamic, man. It's a pacing thing.
Yeah, they've absolutely.
It's outside the scoreboard.
Yeah, it is completely dismantled their flow and everything. I mean, they just look lost out there, bro.
Yeah.
So
and like to be fair, like ASIM had 25 in the map 1. Like you sub in Purge, I don't think he's getting that many kills. Yeah. Which was their issue. So I think from a slaying perspective, ASIM hasn't been the most consistent. But
yeah,
he's
either slaying well or getting absolutely slammed.
Right.
No in
so
between.
The inconsistency is not helping, but like he still is a little bit more slay heavy than Purge. So there's some sort of dynamic that is not going well. And I also think the S&D took a big hit when Purge left. Like that's the one thing I said is Purge was really good in S&D. He was very vocal as well, not only just in gameplay, he was very vocal. And they've been just getting smoked and it's a swing mode, right? Like you win that map 2, you're guaranteeing yourself you're playing an extra respawn. So nothing else that I want to say other than, everyone looked good on the side of Faze as they should, and it was a DoorDash.
Yeah, Faze just continuing their dominance.
Yep.
Just a runaway train.
So that caps us off on Friday there. Anything else to add?
Nope.
Awesome. Getting next here, the Paris Legion have a back-to-back Friday end match. Yeah. New York, this was a terrible series to watch. It was very boring. It was just the better team. I mean, some of the maps were close. New York wins 250 to 222, then 6-4. But I mean, the rounds that Legion won were like close most of the time. And they actually, I'm pretty sure they went up a little bit early in the Karachi hardpoint, and then New York just strung a bunch of hills together. So really good series from Hydra, of course. Again here, Geo going 1.39 dropping 43 to tie the record in the map
Yeah,
one
he was
and still
1v4ing.
losing.
He was 1v4ing that map, bro. And
That's absurd.
that's honestly though, that's a really big positive to take away from this series is that Geo played really well, especially against the top 4 team, because he's been kind of struggling too since Purge left. So it's good to see that he's back. And also, don't quote me on this, but if I recall, this is now a 13 map loss streak for Vegas.
Yeah,
and it's tied the record. I think they've tied the record, and it's probably their record, if I had to guess.
Yeah, and it might be.
So they can hang 2 jerseys from the rafters.
Yeah. So Geo, I mean, the only reason that the first 2 maps were close was because of Geo. Like it literally was nothing else. So
they dropped ASIM today.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is their last match of the weekend. So yeah, definitely a good time to talk about it. They dropped ASIM. Clearly that dynamic was not working out, and they pick up Johnny. I don't know what their logic was behind picking up someone who's already shown poor performances. I feel like if you're going to pick up a Challengers player, and I honestly, off the top of my head, can't think of Cracked.
Yeah, and he's recently done well in Challengers.
Yeah, so they take a chance back on Johnny, who was on their roster for Vanguard, I believe, and did not do well. But he also had
Gravity,
a fake player.
He had Gravity. He had Jimbo.
And you're literally playing next to someone who had to cheat their way into the league. So
yeah, and then averaged a .48 or whatever that.
Yeah, it was bad.
Jimbo's so bad. Dog shit, bro.
So Legion, looking to see a debut of a new roster this coming weekend. So that'll be fun to see. Let's see who they play. They play Boston Breach.
Okay, that's winnable.
And that's it. So they're our first match, and that's all they play. Is Boston Breach. So off the rip, we're getting the 2 worst teams in the league, and one is fresh off a roster change. If Legion win this, honestly, I think Legion might win this.
I mean, dude, it really could have just been a fit thing, and if Johnny comes in and like fits well with the team, they might just be right back to where they were when they were like top 5 with Purge.
Imagine he's just fast as, because like I don't think he particularly plays so methodical or anything like that. If he imagine he just comes in and is like, I'm just gonna match
like
Nero.
Snoopy. Yeah, or Nero.
Imagine he's just like, I'm gonna match Nero, and we know Geo can play fast with it on the flex roll and then attach. I mean, he doesn't necessarily have to play fast with squad spawns and how these maps work. So, and it overall is just for main ARs. I mean, you have to play quick anyways. So the only person who really doesn't is literally Insight, and so. I mean, they could just be like a quick ass team and just start frying kids. So that'd be hilarious if it's just a fit thing. So that'll be interesting. But
I'm hoping for the best.
To touch on that?
I'm hoping for the best for them.
Yeah, definitely. Anything else to touch on for that
one? Where do you see ASIM's career from here on out?
I don't think he comes back into the league. Just because if you think about sub duos, I don't think that is where they will. Like, I don't think that's where the changes are needed for a lot of the bottom teams. Maybe he gets back onto Boston if Pentagram starts shitting the bed. Maybe he sneaks on to the Surge. Like, I'm just trying to Miami, but I think
they're
not
going to stick with theirs for a while unless they absolutely bottle this.
That's
major.
what I'm saying. So
no, I really don't see him coming back this year. Yeah,
LAG potentially if Fame gets dropped. Like, I don't know. So I really think he's back into Challengers. I think Zuma obviously gets him on FC Black somehow.
Yeah.
And reunites Purge, ASIM. I wouldn't be surprised if they like drop Dylan Rex or something. So that'll be interesting. But yeah, anything else to touch on that match there?
Nope.
Cool. Second match of Saturday is Atlanta Faze going up against the Carolina Royal Ravens. This was a competitive map 1. But other than that, it was a pretty dominant series. Faze do drop the map 2, but it's round 11. And apparently there were some trolley rounds from Faze.
Cellium was
on
2-8,
there.
bro. Cellium was
Yeah.
2-8. He was
He
not
was kicking his
taking
feet
that
up.
shit serious.
He was kicking his feet up. He didn't really care. It seems like drops a 0.9 in this series, which is kind of shocking.
Yeah.
But
It doesn't matter.
nonetheless,
FaZe dominated the
yeah, I
next two
mean,
maps.
it's Abizi had a really good series. He dropped 16,000 exactly.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
Wait, that's
I've never seen
fire.
that.
Yeah.
I have never seen that ever.
Fellow has 14,799. One off.
One off.
From a nice round
but
number.
16,000 flat is kind of crazy. That's my biggest takeaway from the series.
Abizi just
I'm not even lying. Like, that's the best thing about this series.
Yeah. No, I just feel bad for Gwen and even TJ at this point, bro. I feel like TJ's played pretty well.
That their AR
he has his moments.
Not
they're just getting costed, bro.
Yeah.
So
I mean, literally,
I hate to say
I don't have anything to say.
I hate to say it. Clay's like one of my favorite players ever. And
yeah,
Fellow,
but he might need to get dropped.
I like Fellow too, but man,
both of them, Gwen and Tej need to come together.
How long can this continue?
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
Yeah, Clay. Yeah.
Poor guy. But I have nothing else to add to this.
Yeah, me neither. Let's move on. Some of these matches, it's getting to the point where it's like, all right,
Yeah, it's like we can just
it is what it
say
is.
the score line, literally. Yeah. But getting into the Optic match here, they go up against LAG. And this match kind of got a little shaky here. Flames, new guy on the team, leads the team in KD alongside DiamondCon. But overall, it's a red carpet versus green carpet. Optic Texas, while the score lines were close, just looks like they were playing a little bit sloppy, maybe playing a little too hard for kills and cuts at times, and costing the overall game in a sense here, because you got a 25-point victory in map 1. You win by 2 rounds in the S&D. You win round 5 in the control, and then you win by 10 in the map 4. So it was very close. With you can see it there, red carpet versus green carpet with 2 1.01s for Optic. So I mean, you can just tell it was a very close series. Didn't get to watch much of it myself, so I'll let you kind of go ahead with this one.
Yeah, I mean, Optic didn't look great either series this weekend. I mean, if we're thinking about them trying to beat FaZe, they're definitely going the opposite direction from that goal after this weekend.
Granted, they are playing their weaker maps in every series to try and get better at it, as well as the newer maps. So.
Right. But, I mean, I think this series could have been different. It's just that one of those things where LAG gets into a position to win the game, and then they start tweaking. Because they're like, holy shit, we're about to beat a top 4 team, and just start tweaking. And map 4 came down to P3. Optic had the initial rotation, but LAG broke, and they just like 3-hit Junkyard and broke straight into Hill. And then Optic all spawn up, and they insta-break Hill, so it was just like back and forth.
Cycle.
Yeah, but Pred made a really good play and like turned on someone on the hill, and then they just broke and ended up closing the game out. But that was a map that LAG had multiple chances to like hold more time on some of the hills, and they would just tweak in their setup sometimes. And I feel like that was the pressure of almost winning against a top 4 team.
Yeah, the high rise was also tough for Optic too, losing the high rise control. I mean, they just, that map, it just ensues troll out of Optic.
I don't know what it is.
Like,
about
high rise just means they're gonna troll somehow, some way, and
it's one of those fun jungle gym maps where you can climb things, you can go under, and I just feel like Shotzi, Shotzi, you would think that, but it's also so open that it could lead to it could lead to them dying more. Also, I think we should have thrown map 4, honestly, and gotten another rep on high rise S&D.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah,
they probably would have lost though, low key.
I mean, who cares? We need the reps.
True.
That map is gonna matter on LAN.
It will.
So,
it will eventually matter.
Yeah, I think Optic kind of threw the series by winning that map 4. I'm not gonna lie.
You might be right.
Yeah,
you might be right.
Because now we just looked bad, and we didn't even get to try to get better at our worst map.
True. They come out with the dub 3-1. They move to 5-1 on the split here.
Yes, sir.
Getting into Sunday, we have a start off of Miami Heretics versus Seattle Surge. Now, this is where I'm gonna let you I'll obviously bring up address the matches here, but I'm gonna let you take over. I did not get to watch any of Sunday here. So first off, we had the Miami Heretics taking it 3-2 against the Seattle Surge with a great series from the side of Heretics outside of Vickle, all over a 1.1 with a 1.25 out of Real and a 1.3 out of Lucky, who's not been too great as of late.
Mm-hmm.
And Seattle have been kind of on the uprise. What did Miami do this series?
Yeah, map 1, they just outslayed them top to bottom. Like, they were just all frying on Miami. And
Yep.
Real continues to be really good for this team, bro. Like, he went positive every map. He was frying in search. He went 10-6 map 2.
Yep.
He was 5-2 map 5. So I mean, that's a 2.5 in search. Love to see that. And map 5 was 6-1. I mean, they just shit on him bad. So this was a pretty rough series for Seattle, but I kind of feel like they were lagging or had high ping most of the time because their comms in the map 1 listening were horrible. Like, they were like lagging, choppy comms.
Seattle was?
Yeah. And Zuma and all them were like, are they lagging right now? Because it was like super choppy and they were getting pissed on bad map 1.
Damn.
So I was like kind of surprised by that. Thought
Any
maybe it
tweets?
could have been some Vancouver cheese, you know, because they play from Vancouver.
Yeah. From Canada.
But I don't know. I mean, I feel like they would have been more vocal about it if it was that bad. But yeah, I mean, this was honestly just a really good series out of Miami. Real is the man for them. He just continues to fry, and Lucky also had a really good series when it came to respawns.
What do you think about Abuza? I feel like he hasn't been as good as he was the first split. Do you think it's because the overall, like, the people, you think he's just not shitting? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
Like, because they had a worse roster around him and he was getting all the kills. So do you think that the fact that they've brought on 04 and Hook, who can get more kills than the previous rendition, is like, why? Like, there's just less to go around? Is that what you think?
Yeah,
Or
I mean, possibly, but this Seattle team seems to all like do the same every
yeah,
series.
they're always around each other.
And
Like,
they're
no
kind of
one's
like the
carrying.
Rocker. Like the Rocker, at least when they had Big Wake, they would all have like a 0.9 or they would all have a 1.01. Like, they all had really similar KDs. So maybe they're just like playing together well and like everyone's just kind of getting about the same kills and like no one's really going rogue and frying.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really know. I haven't really watched Abuza individually closely. I just watch their matches as a whole, but I mean, I still think he's playing well, and like this team, I still have faith in them possibly being top 6 at the next major. Like, they've looked good in every other series besides this one. So I kind of like this team, bro. I feel like they're a vibes team.
I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely better than any
But this was
Seattle
a tough
Surge
series.
roster since fucking Octane in them.
Yeah.
In terms of like fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, anything else to add on that one?
Nope.
That was a good breakdown.
Vamos.
Awesome. Getting into the second match of Sunday, we had the Toronto Ultra 3-0ing the Minnesota Rocker. Looks like the control went to round 5, but overall it was just inside and scrap for them in the control, and then looks like they took them to round 11, map 2, but took that one out and overall lost the hard point map 1 by about 70 points on 6-star here. Tough series for Envoy, but other than that, everyone pulling their weight on the side of Toronto. What did this series kind of look like?
Yeah, Envoy still struggling, man. Like, you hate to see it. I don't know what it is about Ultra right now, but do you feel like their vibe is just kind of off? Like they have like low energy right now. Like, they just don't seem like they're in the Ultra like frying killer instinct team.
Ever since Scrap has started like becoming more of a on-screen personality, like on Twitch and popping up on the flank and stuff like that, and kind of ever since this, I don't know if it's a narrative or if it's real, this kind of like good best friendship with Dashi has come about. I feel like it's kind of gotten into maybe some of the other players' heads, like all these, you see these Reddit posts and these tweets and these podcast conversations about they're going to pick up Scrap next year on Optic and stuff. Like,
dude, I'm telling you, that's very real. Like, Hex was obsessed with Pred in the same way he's obsessed with Scrappy. Every time Scrappy pops up on screen and Hex is on the watch party, he's like, there's Scrap. There's my boy Scrap. And they picked up Pred. So, I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
They have to win champs to keep this roster. And if they
Maybe it's
lose, then I
in their
see
heads
scrap.
and in various ways it's fucking with them. Maybe
Dude, it's
So
the same situation with Pred. They were screaming optic Pred at the majors and
optic
stuff, and it
scrap.
leaked into the Seattle team's head. So
Yep.
yeah, I don't know.
Gunless had a good series though.
Yeah, that was good from Gunless.
Statistically.
I think Standy's been playing really well for this team too.
Yeah,
He always
I
seems
agree.
to, be the one leading them in kills. So,
Yeah, he fried last
Standy's
weekend.
performing well, but something's off about Ultra, and I feel like they do this every year. They win a major or do really well at a major, like have a really good split, and then they like slump for a little bit, and then towards the end of the year they'll be right back up in the top 3-4, competing at champs. That's the vibe I got last year. They won Major 3 and then didn't win a single map online the next split and did not win the next major. And then they went to champs grand finals. So
yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think they're still gonna, unless they get upset by like a Seattle or LA Thieves, I think they're gonna place top 4.
yeah.
But I feel like those two teams can definitely do it. But yeah, anything else to touch on that one? 3-0 from
No.
Ultra.
Yeah, solid.
Cool. Getting into our last match of the weekend, we had the Boston Breach going up against the LA Thieves. The Thieves take it in a 3-1 fashion, dropping a round 11 surge. So Boston, dropping the invasion control 3-1 to Breach. I was about to say, oh, Boston get a S&D win, but no.
Yeah,
they lost round 11.
1v4'd them in
1.35. This was literally just pretty much Ghosty versus Pentagram series.
No, but look at map 3. Pentagram went 32
Holy
and 13.
Shit.
Yeah, 5,000 damage, 2.46. He was frying, bro. He was everywhere.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it was insane. He was literally running around doing whatever he wanted to do.
That's
and
insane,
he
bro.
was like 30 and 10 at one point. Like, he was just going crazy, bro.
That's insane.
I think I texted you when he was 30 and 10, and I was like, bro, what is happening?
No, that's actually crazy.
So, yeah, no, he genuinely 1v4'd them, that map, to get their only map win.
Map 4. To close it out, Shawnee's still stepping in for Beans. Drops 31, highest kills and highest KD on the side of Boston. 1.24. I mean, they get closed out is what I meant to say, not close them out. But
yeah,
because Ghosty drops a 1.71 with 36 on the other side, and takes him out with 6k damage. But man, Shawnee proven that he can still do it if he wanted to. Low key, he can still compete, not win, but compete. Yeah. So kudos to him for stepping in a big way. I mean, he got him 3 map wins in 2 series. So hey, Beans, what you might be getting some kills, brother, but what are you doing?
Beans is worrying about his back right now. Beans.
Yeah, I hope he's all right, low key.
Yeah, honestly, no.
Back pain fucking sucks, especially if you're a pro gamer, dude. Sitting down all day.
Dan Ghosty sucked last weekend, and he did good this weekend. He's back, baby. Yep. It was just a one-off bad weekend.
He took a tea break last week.
Yeah. And also Nasty. Nasty's been playing well, bro. I like him.
Yes. Yeah. He's literally, he needs to be a gap filler on this team. You know, Ghosty's gonna get his kills. You know, Joe Deceives is gonna at least have that fast pace and try to get those kills. And you know, Crimp's gonna be doing I don't know.
Yeah.
And then Nasty, you just gotta fill gaps and just pretty much pre-aim, which is what he's doing, and it's kind of his play style to begin with. So I think they're in a good spot, and I hope to see them do well at the major. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Just not against Optic.
Yeah, definitely not against Optic. But yeah, I mean, hopefully they can put it together and actually, make a top 6 or even top 4 as long as it's not against Optic, like you said.
Yeah.
So
that'd be dope.
Yeah.
Beat Toronto.
Good for them.
New York. Imagine they beat Faze.
Dude, that would be a favor.
One can dream.
That would be a wonderful favor.
But yeah, that's going to do it for this past weekend in Call of Duty. Anything else to add for the weekend overall?
Pretty solid weekend. And how many more weekends do we have until the next major? What are we at now? Just one?
Yeah, these teams, they've played 5. Most of them have played 5 matches.
Sweet.
Unless a bunch of them, and some are at 6. So yeah, so it's going to be one more weekend. And then
heck yeah.
I don't know if there's a break or not, because I don't think there is, because it's 11 straight weekends of COD. So
let's go, dude.
So 2 weekends from now, we'll have the major.
All right.
Dope.
Well, let's
get to our final coin segment, pick and bans.
I got mine. Are you ready?
Yeah, I got mine. Is your pick about the Thunder again?
Nope.
Okay, good, because mine is. All right. To round off our episode 25, our quarter century episode, we've got our segment Pick and Bands, where me and Dak pick something and ban something in our recent lives or in the world and whatever. So I'll go ahead and start us off. My pick is that we've got a next wave matchup in the NBA playoffs. The Dallas Mavs, my team, will be playing the Oklahoma City Thunder, as we obviously know is Dak's team.
Yes,
So
sir.
I'm just looking forward to that. Got a friendly bet with one of our friends that we play games with, which is Dak's IRL friend, who's also a Thunder fan. So if I got the Mavs, if they win, get $50. Same for the Thunder on his side, but I predicted 4-2 Mavs, and he predicted 4-3 Thunder. If each one of us happen to pick the correct series, it makes it $100. So a little bit of excitement in there on top of a friendly wager. So
That'll be
excited for that
fun.
matchup.
Yeah, we'll definitely
Yeah.
have that on in Discord.
Yeah, chirping.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to go to a game. I got offered a ticket for game 5. My cousin's husband Brian, his like company has a box, and they were selling tickets for, you know, cheaper than retail. So I may go to game 5 if there is a game 5.
Nice.
Hopefully there is.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So
What's your pick?
my pick, Rat Beef. Rat Beef is back and better than ever, probably better than it's ever gonna be. Like, this has been a crazy back and forth between Drake and Kendrick. For me, I mean, I'm honestly unbiased, bro. Like, I like them both
Me too.
equally. Like, I've been listening to their music for so long. They're two of my favorite artists, and it's fun to see them fight, bro. Like, two absolute goats in the game right now, going back and forth. Hopefully their claims are not true. You know, there's been some pretty messed up things said about each other.
Some harsh shit.
But no one has actually shown hard evidence of their claims. So as of now, it's just fun to watch for me.
Yeah.
And, you know, like I said, hopefully it's not true that, you know, Kendrick beat his wife and Drake abandoned an 11-year-old daughter and is like a deadbeat dad and stuff. You know, hopefully these things aren't true, because that's just not right. And you hate to see, you know, two of your idols
just so much laundry that we don't know if it's clean or dirty being aired out.
Yeah. But no, just the songs that have come out from this, like Not Like Us is such a banger, which I love West Coast beats that you could just like bounce to, you know?
Bounce to,
yeah. So that's a dope song. Family Matters was dope. Like, not listening to the lyrics, like just straight up like the beat and like just the sound as the song. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
So it's been fun to watch them go back and forth, and I don't think it's over.
I don't think it's over either. I wish it was, just because I'm annoyed at seeing it everywhere.
Mhm.
Not the music itself, but just seeing topic of conversation.
But
getting into our bands here, mine's actually is COD related. Wanted to save it for the end. My band is the New York Subliners. So if you're on Twitter at all in the COD esports scene, they have a challengers team consisting of 4 players. 9 days before the major, or 9 days before they fly out, they decided to not fund 3 of the players. And I'm guessing the 4th one is their sub or something, but they decided to not fund 3 of the players' flights, hotels, nothing. And they also demanding money for the team pass or refunding the team pass. So that randomly got dropped on their heads, over a week before the tournament. So that's a fat L on the New York Sublighter side of things, who also just got reimbursed and a bunch of shit for all the money, like all the investment got like repaid and stuff back to the league teams, and they're sitting here.
Well, I mean, I don't know if that's come back.
Players.
That money probably hadn't come back yet. You don't think?
But I mean, it's coming. If you're already, I'm saying, like, if I told these people.
No, it's 100% messed up. Yeah, even if that wasn't a thing, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
I just don't know if that money's come in yet. But I don't know what that's about. Like, I honestly, like,
that's crazy.
Who in their right mind like makes that decision?
Yeah,
and
I don't
thinks
know.
that it's not going to reflect badly on your company, and people aren't going to be pissed on Twitter. Like,
yeah, I wonder if any of like the big, like, I wonder if like Zuma or like Faze.
Zuma's done that in the past, hasn't he?
Yeah, people have done that in the past. So I'm curious if maybe someone steps up and helps him out, even on loan. Pay me this money back type shit. But yeah, that's my band. What's yours?
Metro Boomin. He's corny, bro. That dude is
He
corny.
is.
He's tweeting at a brick wall. Like, you got Drake fighting Kendrick right now, like two titans going at it, and then Metro's like shouting at a wall, like, Drake, you're a pussy, Drake, you suck. Made BBL Drizzy beat. That shit's so dumb, bro.
Yeah, he said, "Bros out here making beats about my cheeks."
Yeah, bro. Like, what? But nah, him and just people on Twitter talking about this shit,
Yeah,
bro. I mean,
yeah.
I've seen some faded takes, bro. It
It's
is
stupid.
it is the
People are
most
blazing hard,
biased like rap battle or just topic that people have been torn on in a long time. Like, you either
Oh, yeah.
like one more than the other and you ride with them no matter what they say. You're gonna back it up and act like they had the hardest song and the other song was whack. And I've just seen some faded takes, bro, and it's like, it's tough to read, bro. I don't even know why I'm
Yeah, it
spending
is.
mental energy
I
on
hope
it.
it's over.
Yeah. So I've just ignored that for the past couple days. Since like Meet the Grams, I'm done with Twitter.
I'm getting close to muting
arguments about it.
shit.
Yeah, I already
Like
did.
muting words.
I muted Drake and Kendrick.
Really?
Yeah. I'm a big
I
word
might have
muter.
to.
I am a big word muter. I got a list on Twitter, bro. Taylor
I'm too
Swift is
lazy to
on
do it
there.
half the time.
Yeah. No, I got Taylor on there. I got Kim Kardashian on there. And that was like back when her and Kanye were
Yeah.
all over
Yeah,
the
we'll be
timeline all the
finished
time.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I got a lot of
I might need to
celebrities
start
that just pop up
muting
on
more.
the feed too much. Yeah.
I'd be too lazy.
Oh, I muted Look Between.
Oh my! Oh, I did that.
Yeah.
I did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that.
Thank God that
Had
died
to.
out though. I think
Yeah,
that just
thank
died
God.
out.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that was by far the most brain rot trend in a long time.
Yeah. It was already a ban for us.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, that shit was stupid.
But yeah, that's going to conclude it, guys, for episode 25 of the Next Wave podcast. As I said in the intro, thank you guys so much for our highest viewed podcast last episode. It was really fun to see, as well as it being one of our good buddies as a guest. So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe on this one to see the channel continue to grow. And we'll see you in the next one. Deuces.